YouTube, what's going on? Appreciate y'all watching my videos. What's going on? Forever. Let's see. What's going on? What's going on? Let's see. Big Chris. Milkman, what's going on? Double C. What's going on? Cornelius, what's going on? So I want to say Happy New Year's to y'all. I hope y'all 2018 was good. I think my 2018 it was all right. It was, I did my first year with my own authority and made some money, and I think it was all right. So this is probably gonna be the last video for 2018. It's the last video for 2018. The last video for 2018. I'm trying to put this thing so it won't be in the way. So what do y'all think about my whiteboard? Shoot, it's backwards. 404, it's backwards. But I got a whiteboard. I went ahead and got a whiteboard. So when I'm doing videos, I can kind of like be interactive. So Milkman, you something else. You are something else. But so happy New Year to y'all, man. I appreciate y'all coming out and hanging out with me. I hope y'all New Year was good. I really don't have a topic. I just came on the computer and just did a live, man. But so I got a whiteboard, and I'm gonna try to do some interactive videos for y'all. So that's why I got this whiteboard. Go work. I'm probably not gonna get back in the truck until it's probably gonna be after the 1st before I get back in the truck. It's a handful of things I have to go and do. I got to get my truck inspected. I got to get an inspection done on my truck. And I got my IFTA stickers. I got my insurance. I got my insurance. I got my insurance renewed. I got my IFTA stickers. Everything, my medical card, everything ready to go for 2019. So I just got to go and get my truck inspected. So 4-4, I'm going to start my company this year. Yeah, DMC, man. Call me. when you get a chance, I want to hear all about it. Because I know you've been struggling dealing with trying to decide on what to do, whether you should hire on guys or go get your own authority or lease on with Travel Local or whatever. Call me. I want to hear all about it. Mr. Bill said, what's your thoughts on 2019 economy and trucking? That's when you know your money's straight, when you don't have to rush back to the red. I mean, I don't have a bunch of money, but it's in business, you gotta what you gotta understand when you got a business, you gotta understand is that taking time off is just as important as making the money and working. And for the last couple months, I've been working on my rental property. So it's not like I'm wasting time. So I haven't been making money, but I'm making money for like a long term benefit. So I may not get the money right now, but I'll get it later. So like this year it may not pay off, but all that work that I'm doing is a tax deduction. So for every dollar I spend on the rental with my truck sitting, it's a tax deduction. So for every dollar I spend, I get 15 cents back. So when you spend, this is a good time to use my whiteboard. So if I spend $10,000, right? If I spend $10,000, I'm using my whiteboard. Okay. Say you make 100,000. You make 100,000. You got $10,000 in expenses. You get to deduct this from your taxes. So you deduct that. That's going to give you 90,000 that you got to pay taxes on. Right? So now instead of paying taxes on that 100,000, you only paying taxes on 90,000, which is going to give you what is that? $1,500. A $1,500 deduct. You get $1,500 back. Okay, so it may not seem like a lot of money, but the thing is, if you compare this to, let's see. Okay. A business owner, right? You gotta excuse my handwriting, but I'm just trying to make a point here. Employee. W-2, however you want to describe it. All right. W-2. I'm sorry, all this stuff backwards. When you W-2 and you make 100,000, you get no tax write-offs. You get the standard $12,000 deduction. That'll bring you down to 88,000. You gotta pay taxes on that. So, so like if you got a business and you make 100,000, I like using these round numbers. I'm just using 100,000 because they're round numbers and I can calculate numbers easy. You got money to take care of yourself, your business, while you upgrade your rentals. Right. See, and even when I take off, I'm still making money. Right. It ain't a bunch of money. It's just you playing with the money. You filtering the money. So say you make 100,000. Hold on. I didn't even plan this. I thought this was a good time to use my whiteboard. So you W-2, you get the standard deduction. You got an apartment, you got a car, you got to pay bills out of that. And you taxed on all that. You taxed on this money. You taxed that 19%. I mean, this is just for the sake of this, because I know at the 88,000 range, you probably tax that 25%. Okay, let me get this calculator. 88,000 times 0.19. You're gonna have to pay $16,000 in taxes. You have to pay $16,000 in taxes. And this is what you take home right here. Hold on, y'all. It's my first time with a whiteboard. That's what you take home. 71,000. Now, if you're a business owner, you make this same 100,000. Truck drivers, okay? That same 100,000. And when I be talking about above the line, when I mean above the line, I mean gross revenue for your business. You made 100,000. Above the line just mean before you show a profit. Your profit goes down here. Above the line, that means you taking business deductions. So you got fuel, 20,000. You got maintenance on the truck. You bought tires. You bought air filters. You bought oil changes, whatever. I'm just making up numbers. Insurance, $10,000 for insurance for the year. I mean, just think of all the things you can deduct. Okay, your cell phone, you can't do this over here. You paying all these taxes on this. You can't do this over your cell phone. 1,200 for the year. Okay. What else can you deduct? I mean, we can keep going. Okay, we got 20, 25, 35, 36, 200. So we get to deduct 36,000. Oh, per diem. We get $63 a day. Okay, say you was on the road 300 days out of the year times. No, it's $63 a day. That's an $18,000 deduction. That's per diem. Okay, let me add all this stuff up. 100,000 minus 20 minus 5 minus 10 minus 1,200 minus 18,900. You only gonna pay taxes on the 44,900. Meanwhile, your food is paid for. See this right here? You get to write off your food, groceries. Not just the food in the truck. Because if you buying food for the truck, if you married, you got a girlfriend, y'all live together, you can get a business credit card, give her a business credit card, and she can buy groceries with that card. And you can take the food for your house as an deduction. Food is paid for. Over here, as a W-2 person, you got to pay for food. And you're not getting that as a deduction. See the difference here? You looking at what? 30 to 30. We're looking at almost a $30,000 difference. That's a lot of money. Okay, 30,000. Okay, now you pay taxes on this. Now we got to pay self-employment on this. We got to pay 15% self-employment on this. 15%. Okay. 44,900. 44,900 times. You only pay $6,700 in taxes. Okay, if you W-2 and you only get that standard deduction, you paying taxes on all that money. This is just an example. 71,280 times. And see, with self-employment, so you paying the 88,000. You paying. I think the tax bracket for 88,000, I think is like 30%, because you got the 19 plus it's FICA. FICA is 7%. It's a bunch of other Social Security, Medicare, all this other stuff. But for the sake of this video, I'm trying to make a point here. Okay, 71,280 times 0.19. You're gonna have to pay $13,540 in taxes. I don't know about you, that's a lot of money. And see, as a business owner, this difference right here, you can invest it. The difference that you get from your taxes, you can invest it. So you can take the difference between being a W-2 and a business person. You can take, okay, 13,543 minus 67,35. You got a difference of 68,08. That's a down payment on a duplex. This is a down payment on a duplex. Over here, you don't get that benefit. Okay. You got a job, you know, you get the standard deduction. I mean, these numbers may be off a little bit, but for the sake of this video, I mean, as a business owner, I didn't even these not even all the deductions. I just did this just to make a point. You know, Everett Madison says a W-2 is making more money. Technically, yeah. But the problem is that the thing is that both these people are making earned income. See, both these people are making earned income. These people got to work. And see, what you do is when I say you can take this 6,800 right here and invest it, you want to invest it into real estate. This is a down payment on a duplex. You want to turn this money, and you want to put it into a passive income vehicle. So that way, when you when time comes, every year you putting 6,800 into real estate. Well, not necessarily 6,800. I mean, for me, it's closer to like 10 to $12,000 a year difference between when I was at JB Hunt as a local driver, between having my own authority. I'm saving about $10,000, $12,000 a year, and I get to put it back into an investment tool. And so what I'm talking about is like, okay, over like 5-10 years, you're able to put $50,000. You can buy, okay, 50,000. You buy a rental property for 50,000. You rent the property out for 900. You rent the property out for 900 a month. Rental property. Now this is passive money. Okay. The passive income, you're getting taxed at like 2%. So when you make money off this 50,000, you buy a rental property, you rent it out for 900 a month. 900 times 12. Because even though a W-2 person is technically making more money, they're working people. Both these people are working. These are labor people. They have to work. So, I mean, with a business, you can scale it. So what passive income and business owners have in common is that you can scale it. So there's a time where these two people, they're not actively involved in it. As a W-2 person, you only as good as your next paycheck. If you don't show up, you can lose your job. But these, like a trucking business, you can scale this. Or you got an IT business. You can hire guys to make this money. Okay. So let's say 9 times 12, 900. Hold on. 900 times 12. You making $10,800 a year. So, and say you got 5 of these. You got 5 rental properties. That's $50,000 each. Times 5. Okay. You making $54,000. You're making $54,000 a year. This money, if this was W-2, if you compare this income for 5 rental properties and compare it to having a job making $54,000 a year, this money isn't taxed like self-employed money, W-2 money. That income, you only taxed it like 2%, maybe 2%. So you got a 2% tax according to the tax code, because real estate and passive income that you receive from dividends and stuff like that, it's not taxed as hard, and you get so many deductions. You keep most of this money. So you do 54,000 times 0.02. You only paying $1,000 in taxes. So you make 54,000. You taking home all your money. So that's the point I was trying to make. You want to get here. You want to get on this passive side, so you're not paying all these taxes, and you keeping this money, and you're not doing as much work. You chilling. You at the house. You know, you got 5 rental properties. You making $54,000 a year. Okay. You may work 3-4 hours out of the month. Even if you had a trucking business and you got 5 trucks running, you got contractors running. I wasn't even planning on talking about this, but I just wanted to break open my whiteboard. I want to do some whiteboard stuff. So you got a trucking business. Trucking biz, okay? You got 5 trucks. 5 trucks making $200K. Okay. They're leased on to your authority. $200K. Back up. 200 times 5. You're grossing $1 million. This is 1 million gross. Okay. You pay your guys 90% of that million. You keep 10%. 10% of $1 million. $10% of $1 million is 100,000. I mean, this is just a basic thing. Okay, you got 5 trucks that's leased on. 5 of your contractors are making 200, grossing 200,000. You charge them 10% of their revenue, and you make 100,000, because you're between them 5 trucks, you're grossing $1 million between the 5. I mean, one guy, you might have 2 guys that's making 150. Okay, you might have 1 guy, you might have 2 of your guys making 150. Okay, and then 3 of them, you might have 3 of them that's doing 250. Okay, but that's not the point. But the point is, you can do the same thing, but the difference is that these are different types of tax. These are different tax classes. Okay, so That's what I'll be talking about in my videos. And so that's what Travel Loco does. This is what Jeffrey L is doing. All these guys, that's why I be telling y'all to get your own authority. Because if you get 5 guys that's grossing 200,000, between 5 guys, you're doing $1 million between these guys, and you're getting 10% of their revenue. So if you charge a guy 10% of his revenue, you're making 100,000. That's decent income, you know. You making 100,000. So being that you in this tax bracket here, 100,000, you're gonna have to pay 20% tax on this. You know, so I mean, you taking home 80,000. That's still pretty good. And then if you're a savvy business owner, you'll be putting this money here. You'll be putting this money here. Okay, you want to put some of this million. You want to do this above the line though. So before you take your deductions, because this is all business in here, you got an S corp, a C corp. So you got 5 trucks. You want to take some of them deductions and put it over in this real estate over here. So that way, when you make 100, you still making this same 100, but you're not getting tax right here. You're not getting this 20% tax. So that's what I'll be talking about in my video. This is all I'll be talking about, you know. And that's just the plan right there. That's just the end goal. That's the end goal right there. Get a truck, run it, save your money, get your authority. Okay, hire on some guys. Okay, charge them 10% of revenue. Okay, and then you ain't in the truck no more. Now you can put money over here into different passive income vehicles, real estate. I suggest real estate, but you can do bonds, gold, whatever you want to do. But I like real estate. And now with real estate, you get all those tax deductions. You get all those benefits. Now you start to get up to 10 trucks, 20 trucks. You start to get up in this high tax bracket. You can throw this money over here, get that money back. That money starts to come back to you untaxed because you don't put the money into a tax shelter, which is real estate. Real estate is a good tax shelter. So you get that active money, put it into real estate. Hold on. So you got money, right? Money. You got money from the business going over here. So you got all this money going over here, going over there. Then this money here, you want to put it in the real estate, and then it comes down to you untaxed. Y'all gotta excuse my handwriting, but that's what I'm saying here. You get a business, trucking business, whatever. The money that's left over above your living expenses. My home expenses are very low. Everything above that go to real estate. You put it in real estate. The money will come back to you untaxed. So, like I was saying, if you make 200,000, right? If you bring that straight home, it's going to be taxed. You don't want to do that. Don't bring all that money straight home. You want to send it to real estate. So that way the money that you get from real estate ain't taxed. You at a very low tax bracket. When the money, it takes a while though. You're looking at it's going to take you about 5, 10 years, 20 years to get that money back. But once you start piling it up, throwing it at real estate, it's going to hit you so hard. You're going to have so much money coming in. It's going to be crazy. But it takes a while to get there. If, all you guys in y'all truck bringing all that money home, don't bring all that money home. Put it into real estate. In about 10, 15 years, so that way you don't have to worry about getting taxed on it. Let me see what y'all talking about. 4-4, move the mic to the left and turn the board right. Look. Now class is in session. Owner Ira is going to have a far higher gross. Your boy Rich, he been waiting for this info. I've been telling y'all the whole time, but this is just a visual interpretation of what I've been saying. You want to get the trucking business. I mean, it don't even have to be trucking. It could be something else. If you like to do hair, or do taxes on the side, or cut grass on the side, or do Uber, you take that money and put it in to real estate, So you save the money. I mean, the example that I did here is not a lot, but I can honestly tell you, I'm saving like $15,000 a year. I take that 15,000 plus the cash that I made, throw it into real estate, and then you can have, you talking about having $40,000, $50,000 cash to go buy a piece of property, or you don't have to pay the $40,000, $50,000 cash. You can put $10,000 down. Okay, say you got a property that's $60,000. You can get an FHA loan. No, let me do this. Let me do 80. 80 is better. No. Matter of fact, let me do 100. Let me do 100. Okay, so you got a duplex. Okay, you got a duplex is it's a duplex. A duplex is a house that's, it's a small apartment. You got a duplex, it's 100,000. Say you see a duplex that's 100,000 and you want to buy it. You got 50,000, but I don't recommend putting all your 50,000 in there. If you can qualify for $100,000 FHA loan, you only gonna have to put 3% down plus closing costs. Closing costs gonna be another. Let's see, closing costs. Okay, you're gonna be looking at another $5,000 in closing costs. So 3% down, that's $3,000 plus $5,000 in closing costs. That's the agent fees, the attorney fees, the appraisal, inspections, and all that. I say about 5,000. Okay, probably another $2,000 in like miscellaneous fees. So we got $10,000 all in on this property. Okay, you buy that property. You only putting in $10,000 into this property. So say the mortgage is let's let's see, we got the mortgage at let's see, 3%. Say we got a 15-year. Say we got $100,000. So we got 66. Let's see, 100,000 times plus 6666. So we're looking at $10,000 a year we're gonna pay on this mortgage, because the mortgage is about $800. The rent that you get off this duplex is gonna be so we're gonna pay, let's see, 166 divided by 12. Our mortgage on this is 8. Say our rent between these two is $900 a month in rent. So we got $1,800 coming in minus the $847. We got insurance on the property. Insurance is $75 a month. Hold on. $75 a month for insurance. Taxes is divide 12. Taxes is $80. So 18 minus 847 minus 75 minus 80. So you making $800 on this property for a duplex. You're making $800 a month on that. So, okay, now we want to find our return, our rate of return. It's going to blow your mind away. Just think, we only put $10,000 of our own money into this property. We're making $800 a month. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. That's a ridiculous rate of return. Okay. So you're making, let's see, not 798 times 12. You're making $9,500 a year off of 10,000. That's stupid. That's a stupid return. That rate of return. What is that? Like, you see that? You only put $10,000 in this property and you're making $800 a month. You're making $800 a month. You get you another one. You got 3 of them. You multiply that times 3. You making you making 28,728 with $30,000. If you can do this 3 times, 3 duplexes, you only put $30,000 and you're making 20. You make your money back in the first year. After that, you got infinite returns. That's what they call it, infinite returns. As long as you own these properties, look at all this money you making. For $10,000, a $10,000 investment. plus you getting depreciation, plus you getting you're not paying taxes on this money because you're getting depreciation, you get the write-off, all this stuff. You're not paying taxes on this money. Your tax bracket is like 1%. The mortgage already did it off camera, but the mortgage is 847. That's the mortgage, because you put 3% down, closing costs and other fees. I just tacked on an extra 2,000 just to make this number even. But to close on a $100,000 house, you're looking at about a $10,000 closing. So you got taxes, insurance, the tenants pay their own water and all that. You're making $800 a month. So say you put back 20% of this money for maintenance, for roof and all that stuff. You're still making a damn good return on investment. You're making your money back in the first year. After the first year, you're getting all your money back. You get you some more. You just keep going because you're making so much money. You can just, because the thing is, if you got a W-2 job, you don't need this money. You don't need it. So if you got a W-2 job, keep working your W-2 job. Just keep getting more mortgages. Keep going more mortgages. Before you know it, you have 50 of these, 50 of them. You have 50 of them. You can quit your job after that point. But once you got a couple of these, just keep your W-2 job. Keep doing that. That's a ridiculous rate of return. I can't even do the math on it because it's like 10,000. You got 10. Can you imagine if you put 10,000? You doubling your money every year, like you tripling your money. That's what I be trying to tell y'all. That's why I like real estate. The stock market can't do that for you. You can do that in the stock market, but you gotta be a day trader. You gotta be. You gotta be a day trader. You know. So. So pay even less taxes when you elect S Corp status. Not necessarily. Like I said before, so you got an S Corp. Sole proprietor. Single member LLC. Sole proprietor, single member LLC. What else? All right. So as an S Corp, you got to do FICA. You got to do Med. You got to pay all these damn taxes, right? So you make 100,000. Okay, 100,000 over here. Over here, you got to pay self-employment. Okay, that's 15%. Over, done. 15%, done, right? Over here, you got to pay, if you're the owner. So the S Corp, it's got to pay 7%. And you got to pay 7%. But you can take a salary, okay? So you take a salary of Say you take a salary of 40,000. And you're an employee of your S corp. 40,000 times 0.19. You're gonna pay $7,600 in taxes. Okay, just for the example, because I didn't even put in the standard deduction, but this is just an example. I didn't put in, standard deduction. This is just an example. You're gonna pay $7,600 in taxes because the FICA, blah 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 blah. Because 19% includes the FICA, the Medicare, and whatever, all that other them taxes. It come up to about 19, like 18 and a half, depending on the time of the year. So, but then your S corp is gonna pay half that, gonna pay the other half. So say your business makes 200,000. The S corp is gonna pay 7%. Okay, and over here you're gonna pay 15,000. Straight up, just straight line tax. But okay, 200,000 times so your S corp is gonna pay 14,000. My bad. Then you're not gonna pay that much. I'm sorry, I'm messing up. And you take a dividend of 60,000, and you take a not a dividend, but you're gonna take. So you got the 40,000. So you as an employee of your company, you're gonna, as a executive of your company, you're gonna take a dividend, a bonus, whatever you want to call it. A 60,000. 60 plus the 40. As an employee, you're gonna pay the regular FICA, and then the S corp, you're gonna pay all that, right? This 60,000 is not taxed like this, so you only have to pay like, I think it's like 5% or something like that. You only pay like, you don't pay you don't pay all this tax on this. You don't pay all this on here. You don't pay that. Over here, you make 100,000, you're gonna pay just self-employment, you pay the whole 15. But right here, you're gonna pay, I think it's 5%. I'm gonna have to look up, but I'm trying to make a point here. Times 0.05. You only pay $3,000 in taxes. So we got 7,600 plus the 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're looking at 10,600. Okay. Now the S corp, they got to pay the quarterly filings. They got to do the quarterly filings and stuff. Well, depending on how much money you make, you got to do monthly or quarterly. Or if, for a trucking business, I don't think you have to pay that much, pay that often. Let's say you do 200,000. $200 times I think I'm doing something wrong here. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm doing something wrong here. I'm doing something wrong here. But the point I was trying to get to is that a S corp, a C corp, and an S corp, once you compare them, you gotta break like 100,000 to make getting the S corp make more sense. Because with an S corp, you have to do your quarterly filings. You gotta pay an accountant for that. That's $2,000 a year. That's $2,000. You got to pay a payroll. That could be another $1,000 for the year. A payroll company charged about 50. I think like QuickBooks, you can do it through QuickBooks. I think like $10 a month, $15 a month, but you can do payroll through QuickBooks. That's going to be $3,000 right there. So you got the 3,000 plus 3,000 plus your salary. So you got the 10 plus the 600. You looking at $13,600. So if you compare these two, I'm missing something up here. I forgot, but I have to go through and see what the corporate tax bracket is, because it's some numbers I got messed up in here. Because on the S corp, you got to pay on the corporate level, you got to pay the tax, and it's something I'm doing wrong here. It's something I'm doing wrong here. But if you look at the difference between doing a single member LLC or a sole prop, like it ain't a bunch of a savings. You doing all this extra work, and you got to comply with federal guidelines. You have to do quarterly filings. You have to. If you miss your quarterly filings, you're gonna get penalized. Over here, you get a break. Over here, you got a whole year to pay your taxes. Over here, they give you a break. Okay, you don't have to do your estimated payments over here. You know, you can wait till the end of the year. But over here, when you start grossing so much, you have to do your quarterly filings. The federal government, the IRS does not play. You have to do your federal filings. If you miss a due date, you're gonna get penalized, and those penalties are high. So, for the sake of this example, like if you look, 15,000 different, it's like you got to go through H&R Block and put in an S corp and see which one you got to make. You got to be taking a salary of like 200,000 to make this make sense, because then you start saving 10, 15, $20,000. But when you're a small business and your business is grossing 100, 150,000, it makes no sense to get an S corp. I'm gonna have to redo this because it's something that I'm missing out, and these numbers are not right. But basically, the example that I have, the sole proprietor single member LLC is the same. It's like it's the same. So, you know, but right, Rochelle. Yeah. So like on the S corp, you got to pay on both sides. You got to pay the 7% over here, 7% over here, and you got to do this, and you got to do quarterly filings, and you got to do minutes, and you got to have a manager on. You got to have a manager when you're running your own business. If you're running your own business, you got to pay. You got to hire somebody to do this stuff, because you can't be in the business and doing this. Over here, sole proprietor, single member, you can do this on a monthly basis. You can do your paperwork. You can do your income statement. You can do your profit and loss. Okay, you got time over here. Over here, on a monthly and a quarterly basis, you got to do your federal filings. If you don't do it, like I can admit I'm behind on my profit and loss. I haven't done a profit and loss in about 3 months because I've been busy. So if I was over here, the IRS will be up my behind because I haven't had any time to go and do my profit and loss and know how much money I have to send them, right? So over here it's cheaper when you're a small business, when you gross in 100, 150, 200, it don't make no sense to get an S corp. Everybody want to be like, oh, I'm gonna get an S corp just to make themselves sound good. You wasting money, and you got all this other stuff. You got to get a payroll. You got to put yourself on the salary. The only reason I would get an S corp if you're trying to get a mortgage or something, and to comply with getting a mortgage or getting a loan, you got to have W-2s to get a mortgage, because banks love W-2s. So they like to see somebody with a W-2, because if you're self-employed, they want 2 years tax returns. They want 2 years income statement. They want 2 years profit and loss. Over here, I think they only want a year because you W-2, or they only want 6 months, 3 months, right? Because you W-2, they see you as being a stable person. So you got to make a lot. Basically, you got to make a lot of money to justify getting an S corp or a C corp. That's the example of what I'm trying to say. But there are some reasons to get an S corp, and one big one is to separate yourself from your business. If you want to make that stream, that cut, that solid line between you and your business, yes, get an S corp, because just the nature of corporations separate the business owner from the company, because the S corp, it does its own taxes. It's paying you a salary. That's you can't commingle funds with that. Over here, sole proprietor, if you got a business checking account, you can easily commingle funds, because you got to have an operating agreement, and you got to back check yourself to say, okay, have my personal checking account, pay my bills at my personal, and have my business checking account and pay business bills out of that. You got to make that clear distinction. Over here, it's easy to commingle. If you trying to just draw that line, yeah, get an S corp, but you're gonna pay for it. You're gonna pay for it. And like I said, if you're not making $150,000, 200 on your personal, it ain't really worth it, because you're not making enough to justify you. It's gonna cost you more money to run an S corp. All those fees involved. If you got employees, you got a business that's making $5 million, do that, because you can making a lot of money. But if you a truck driver, you making 150 to 200,000 gross, and you paying taxes on 50,000, don't get no S corp. Just be a sole proprietor, single member LLC, and sit down. Rochelle say they also have to pay FUTA, which is unemployment to the state, which separate from the quarterly taxes. You need to be grossing 200 create only one employee for corporations to make. That's what I've been saying. But a lot of guys love to buck up with they S corp and C corp. It's like you just wasting money. You wasting money, man. It's nothing wrong being a sole proprietor, a single member LLC. You just get a single member LLC and a business checking account and a operating agreement. That's all you need as a small business. You'll do just fine with that. It's nothing wrong paying self-employment tax. You got to use the tax code to have the deductions, so you don't even have to pay taxes. So if you got a business that's making 100,000, you made 100, you paying taxes. You personally, your profit is 100,000. Your business did 400,000, and your profit is 100,000. Well, you can take some more deductions, and you can take $50,000 in deductions. Now you only pay taxes on 50. You only paying 15%. You only paying like $7,500 in taxes. You know, so you taking home 43 46.5. That's good for a business owner. You only paying $7,500 in taxes when you made 400,000. That's pretty good. You can't do that. Well, you can do that over here, but it's gonna cost you. Okay, it's just gonna cost you. You know, so because you're gonna take over here, you can take a $50,000 salary and take the other 50 as a bonus, a dividend, a distribution, whatever you want to call it, for an S corp, and it's only going to be taxed at like 3% or something, because it's a dividend. Dividends is 40. Oh yeah, 70. Yeah, 50 minus 7 from 10 is 7. But so that's not the point though. The point is the taxes, you know. So, but anyway, I just wanted to break out my whiteboard. Break out my whiteboard. Break up my whiteboard for y'all. The S corp has to pay their portions. Let's see, 44 live. Thanks so much for explaining the detailed drawing, boy. I see you have been information mind blowing. I be trying to tell y'all what could cause a truck not to pass 15 mile an hour keep. Oh yeah, yo DPF, like if you got a newer truck and if you got a 06 or newer, you might be having some issues with your deparculate filter. Yeah, you might have something going on with your deparculate filter. Pay even least tax when you elect. Let me see. Been waiting for that. I made 84,000 W2. If I was W2, I wouldn't want to make 84,000. You know, I don't want to boast about that. Hey, Pamela B, Happy New Year. Fofo should open him up a formal tax return business. Go through. Yeah, I thought about getting a PTN. Yeah, I thought about doing it because I be talking to people and they be like, they tell me like their experience of somebody doing their taxes. I'm like, they mess your taxes up. You know, you got money to take care of yourself. Authority and a 3-2 duplex on the plans for me. That's right. Because if you got your authority and you making 200,000 and after taxes, your profit is 100, you need somewhere to filter that money. So, in my truck, I probably did about 200,000, right? And after expenses, I probably did without even looking, I probably did about 100, right? But the thing is, you don't want to bring all this money home. because you're gonna have to pay $15,000 in taxes. You don't want to bring all this money home. So I got deductions. I got real estate. I'm a truck driver. I got pre-dem. Okay. Business deductions. So see this 100,000, it gets filtered, okay, all the way down to about 20,000 or so, where my 15% taxes are well, that's 3,000. So I'm probably only going to be paying about $3,000 in taxes this year. I don't know, but I'm just by looking at what I did, I can kind of guess it's somewhere around here. Okay, because it's my profits has been filtered through these, and what you do is you take the difference and you put it back into these businesses. So you put it back into the trucking business. You put it back into real estate. Okay, you know, and you want to definitely want to put it in real estate, because then that's going to grow. It's going to compound exponentially. You take this working money. This is you working. You know, earned income. Let me say that. This is earned income. Okay. You get what I'm saying? So this is different. This is earned income over here, where you got to work. You got to go out here and work, right? Over here, you put the money over here where you in real estate, where you don't have to work. The checks come in regardless. So you got 3 rental properties over here. The rent. So say right here. So you got 3 rental properties. The rent is $900 a piece. 9 times 3, that's 2,700. Okay. 2,700 a month coming in right here. Okay, you got insurance. You got taxes. Okay. You probably taking home 20. After that, you probably taking home 2,400 a month, because the tenants are paying their own stuff. You just pay for the taxes and insurance. You bringing home 2,400. 2,400 times 12, that's $24,000 a year. Hold on, 24. Make sure you have these numbers right. 28. So that's 28. 28,000 a year. Excuse my chicken scratch. $28,000 a year. $28,000 a year. Without doing no work. Well, you did work, but you only did the work one time. You only did it one time. You had to find the property. You had to talk to people. You had to sign. You had to go close on the property. But once you do it one time, you got this coming in every year, as long as you got tenants in there. You market the properly. You put a new roof on there, put new AC in there. You paint the place up, take care of the yard. Tenants will want to stay if you take care of them. If you rent them a garbage place, they're gonna want to move. You gotta dress the place up to where they want to stay. You dress the place up to where they want to stay, you're gonna get this for a long time. You know, I mean, you can get this number up to like 20 properties. I mean, you getting up there to 100,000, you're gonna get 100,000 every time. But this money over here, like I was saying, it's only dependent on you getting in that truck. You got to get in that truck to get this money. If you don't get in this truck, you can't get this money. This money here is guaranteed money. As long as you got leases in place, you taking care of the property, you're gonna get this money every time. You can get this money. You can have kids and pass this money down. This is wealth right here. It's a small number, but you got people out there that own whole towns, 100 properties, 2,000-3,000 properties. And you talking about fifth generation families. This is generational wealth right here. You get this every time. You just think about if your family owns a hospital. Think about what a commercial loan. Just think about what a commercial lease is on a hospital. A shopping plaza. Like you go to a shopping plaza, it got a Home Depot in it, it got a Walmart in it, it's got all these little. Somebody owns that. Okay, somebody owns that. A Jiffy Lube, a Publix, a Chipotle, somebody owns that. Okay, so say the lease on a Home Depot is I haven't looked at LinkedIn. It's been a while, so I ain't keep up with commercial lease payments. But say the lease on a shopping center, and you got, I'm trying to think, $100,000 a month on a Home Depot store. They leasing that. They got a 40-year lease on that building. You're getting $100,000 a month. That money guaranteed. Okay, I don't care what goes. You got a hospital. I mean, I'm talking like far out. It's, to get a hospital, you own a hospital, dog? I own a library. Oh, God. Okay, so you got, I mean, what I'm talking about, this is probably like, you talking way out, it's some old fart that owns a damn hospital. He owns libraries. He owns gas stations. He owns. Oh boy. Yeah. So, for example, just think these government buildings. Just think about government buildings in your local area. You would think, like a office building, Social Security. Social Security, they may not own that building. Somebody owns the building. They're leasing the building from somebody or a company. Well, the person who owns that company owns the building. 404 trucker, commercial realty. I mean, you see them all the time on the side of the road. You own a warehouse, Procter & Gamble. Okay, Procter and Gamble, P&G. Procter and Gamble doesn't own the warehouse. They're leasing it from somebody. You see all these warehouses that's going up? They're empty. Somebody bought the land, built the warehouse. And so say Amazon come along and say, man, we need a warehouse. We want a 20-year lease. 20 years. 20-year lease for $100,000 a month. Can you eat off that? Times 12? That's $1.2 million. That's $1.2 million. Just that. Just one warehouse. You got to pay insurance and taxes. But you making $1.2 million. That's nothing. Okay. That building is in the S corp. Okay, so you're not paying all that. You're not taking all that as a salary. You probably taking $50,000 as a salary, and then others as dividends. And then you're not taking all that. You're not spending all that money. You buying more real estate. This number compounds. Now you're doing 3, 4, 5. You're doing 20 million because you bought more. I bumped into a guy. I was in a real estate forum. This guy, he owns a shopping plaza. It's got a Jiffy Lube in it. It's got a wing spot in there. It's got some shopping places. He own a warehouse. He own a factory. It's a waste recycling facility. He don't own the place. He owns the land that it sits on. Okay. They got a 20, 30-year lease on the property. The guy, he's like 70 years old. He bought that place. He said he was like 30 something. When he dies, it's in a corporation. When he dies, all that stuff goes to his kids, grandkids. I be trying to tell y'all. When you start dealing with these kind of numbers, man, it's so sexy. It is so sexy. It is so sexy. You know. The Renaissance say, what's the importance of business credit? Business credit comes in where you want to take, you don't want this stuff on your name. You don't want to put a warehouse in your personal name. You don't want no doggone commercial real estate in your name. You use the business credit to apply for more lines of credit. A lot of this stuff goes on credit. So like if you want to buy a warehouse, the warehouse is going for about $4 million. You don't want no goddamn $4 million in your own name. No, man, you put that in a business name, business credit. I'd be damned if you go down to the dealership and the dealership run your credit and they be like, you make $50,000 from this business and you got a $4 million mortgage, commercial mortgage. No, I mean, once you get up to this point, a lot of banks don't even let you put this in your own name. You have to put that in a business name. Like the bank that I dealt with to buy my truck, they said I couldn't put that in my own name. I had to do it in a business name. If I was to pay the bill out of my own personal checking account, they would send the check back. It has to be paid. It has to be in a business name. So when we talk about business credit, when you dealing with If you going to buy a truck for 50,000, you can put it in your personal name. But when you start dealing with $100,000 loans to make money with commercial debt, you have to put it in the business name. So sometimes you have no choice. So, but yeah, so big money, 100K a month. Hey, that's what I'm saying. Brace yourself. Yeah. And see, and just think about it. All that money, that 4 million, all that, it's taxed at like 0%, maybe 1%. Because it's all passive, you know. It's all passive. That's you dealing with real estate. You ain't paying no taxes on none of that money. You ain't paying no taxes on it. Is it difficult to get a property up to Section 8 standards? No. No, it ain't that. I mean, the Section 8, depending on what state you in and what city you in, they kind of picky, but no, they not. They're picky, but it's not hard, you know. So like they may require GCI outlets in the kitchen. So you put GCI, you put GFC, the outlets. You put the outlets in the kitchen. They require locks on the windows. The windows got to be able to lock. Okay, well you put locks on the windows. Okay, it's got to have all the windows got to have latches on them. You got to have a fire extinguisher. You got to have a fire detector, and that. I mean, it's a lot of the housing authority I deal with. Here is they're a little picky, but it ain't nothing you can deal with. You know, they just built up a bunch of dry and refrigerated warehouses in Chicago. Just think, there is a man and a woman behind all that. Wouldn't you like to be them going around buying warehouses? I know I would. I know I would, you know? I know I would. I mean, Section A, all they want the properties be safe and just to be safe, you know. They don't want no leaky faucets. They want just simple stuff, you know, simple stuff. But hey, I'm about to get off here. I got an hour and 30 minutes. Hour and 30 minutes go by fast. But you know, I just wanted to say Happy New Year to y'all and hope y'all having a Happy New Year. I want to introduce my whiteboard to y'all, and you know, I be trying to tell y'all, get a truck. But hey, I appreciate y'all watching my videos. I'll see y'all next time.